Right, good morning. I'm Mr. Simons. This lesson we're looking at probability, specifically tree diagrams when given independent events, right? So if we go to the next slide, I say independent events. Yeah, I'm going to do via example to show you. So we have a bag that contains 5 red whistles, 3 green whistles, and 4 black whistles. So that's 5 plus 3 gives me 8. I have 12 whistles in total. Whistle is taken from the bag and placed back in the bag. Then another one is taken out again and placed back. So every time we take a whistle out of the bag, we're putting the same whistle back in the bag. So we start off, we have 5 plus 3 plus 4, we have 12 whistles in a bag. I take out one, there's 11 left, but every time I place the whistle back, I have 12. So my amount of whistles don't change, therefore we consider it independent events, right? So the first question, determine the probability of the following using a tree diagram. So the one probability that it will be red, G there for green, so probability that it will be green. The probability we first select red, then green. The probability we select black, green, then red. Probability we'll select red or green in any order, meaning we select red or green or red. And the probability we select green, red, and black. Alright, so let's look at the tree diagram. So we're first going to draw the tree diagram. Right, so my sample space, meaning the total amount of items I'm working with. I had the 5 red whistles plus the 3, I think it was green whistles, plus the 4 black whistles gives me 12 whistles in total. So my sample space in total equal 12 whistles, right? So when I select from this bag, I can either select red, I can select green, or I can select black. Out of the 12 whistles, I can select 5 out of 12 that's possibly red. I can select 3 out of 12 that's possibly green, or I can select 4 out of 12 that's possibly black. Right, after I've selected a whistle, remember I'm placing the whistle back in the bag, I can again select red, green, or black. After I selected a green whistle, I can again select red, green, or black. After I selected a black whistle, I can again select red, green, or black. Because I've placed the whistle back, the probabilities here on my branch would stay 5 over 12, 3 over 12, and 4 over 12. Because we haven't changed the amount of whistles in the bag. Every time we select, we place it back. Same goes there. That would still read 5 over 12, 3 over 12, 4 over 12. This would also read 5 over 12, 3 over 12, and 4 over 12. So the outcomes, I can select red and red, RR. I can select red and green, or I can select red and black, BR. I can select green and red, so the GR. I can select green and green, GG. I can select green and black, GB. I can select black and red. Nice colors too, eh? Black and green, or black and black, BB. Somebody's surname, I know. Right, so that is my tree diagram. So hope you understand. So we always draw our branches. We must include our probabilities on the branches, and we must end with our outcomes, right? So we're going to give you a mark for that. You'll see when I go through the exam questions how we allocate those marks. Right, so let's go and answer the first question. Right, so first they say we must determine the probability that it would be red. So what's the probability? I can select a red whistle. If I select once, red, it's 5 over 12 because I have 5 out of 12 red whistles. Right? What's the probability? I would select green. I have 3 green whistles, so the probability is I can select any one of 3 out of 12 whistles that will be green. I hope you understand. If I say probability, I select red and green would be equal to, I select red, then I must select green. So I go from selecting out of 5 out of 12 to 3 out of 12. So here we use the product rule, probability red times probability green. So 5 over 12 times 3 over 12. 5 times 3 gives me 15. 12 times 12, 144. So my probability selecting red and green would be 15 over 144. So I hope you follow. I hope I'm not going too fast. I don't want to go too slow either. Don't want to bore you. Right, let's look at the next question. Alright, now in this question, they want us to determine the probability that it will be black, green, and then red. Right, so I first would select black, then I would select green, then I would have another selection for red, although we didn't include it there. Remember, after I select green, I can still select red, green, or black. So probability black, because it's independent events, it's quite easy to answer. Black will stay 4 over 12. Green would stay 3 over 12, and red would stay 5 over 12. So we're selecting in that order. We first select black, then green, then red, PGR. So to select black, 4 over 12. Green, I only have 3 out of 12, and red I have 5 over 12. So that gives me 15 times 4, which equals 60. 12 times 12 times 12 is 1728. Right, and 12 goes in 60, and 12 goes in 1728, 5 over 144. Right, so that's the probability for that 3 events, black, green, and red. Right, we go to the next slide, look at the next question. Right, determine the probability that it's red and green in any order. So what I'm saying is I can select red, then select green, or if I swap the order, I can select green, then select red. So in any order means I can select RG or GR. Ne? Rosettenville gangsters. I'm just joking. RG, the cigarettes, ne? They call Rosettenville gangsters. But yeah, PRG plus PGR. So RG, remember, would be 5 over 12 times 3 over 12, which gives me 15 over 144. And GR would be 3 over 12 times 5 over 12, which also gives me 15 over 144. Denominators are the same, so I'm just going to add 15 plus 15, gives me 30 over 144, and 6 goes in both, so it simplifies to 5 over 24. So I hope you follow. You say in any order, the letters can be arranged. Yeah, just ask 2. If it asks 3, it becomes a very long sum. Ne? So hope they don't do that with you in exam. Right, let's look at the next question. Right now, and the last one, what independent events determine the probability? We have green, red, and black. Right, so that simply means I'm going to select green first, then I'm going to select red. If I continue selecting red, green, and black, the third selection would be black. Because it's independent events, the probabilities stay the same. So green would always be 3 over 12, red would be 5 over 12, and black would be 4 over 12. 4 times 5, 20, times 3 gives me 60, 60 over 1728, and if we simplify, 5 over 144. Right? So probability via 3 diagram, independent events, relatively easy. With enough practice, you should get it and master it. Next slide, or next video that I'm going to do, we're going to looking at when we are given dependent events. Meaning we don't place something back, so our overall sample space becomes smaller the more we select. Right? I hope you understand. I hope you follow. Wish you nothing but the best. Continue practicing. I know you're going to do well in maths. Right? God bless. Bye.